Well, it says we are live, so I hope that is the truth because this is Paul Romero and the Network Marketing Insider number 239 by Two Cool IBOs. Maybe only one today, I don't know, on this Freedom Friday, 2016, April 25th. And I'm not sure if Google's actually working this morning because my Gmail says that we're having trouble connecting. Google will keep trying, and John is not getting an invite this morning. Otherwise, he would be here. So hopefully this is all working, and hopefully you guys are able to join in today. And I want to welcome all of you network marketers. I want to welcome especially all of you Swiss Gold Global network marketers, and I especially want to welcome all of you looking to potentially become network marketers, because you guys are definitely in the right place. Because did you know, getting problem calls here, but anyway, hey, there's John. Did you know, John, that after you take out all the time you spend sleeping and all the time you spend working and all the time you spend commuting to work and all the time you spend running around doing all those things that life just requires that you have to do every day, that at the end of each and every day that most people only have like 1, maybe 2 hours for themselves to do the kinds of things that they like to do? And even if they had more time, do you think they'd have the money? Well, you know what? There is a way for you to own your life by starting a home-based business that is so simple that anybody can do it. And the best part is, it doesn't take very much of your time. I don't suppose you would know anybody that'd be interested in something like that, would you?
Oh boy, that sounds like something that I would be interested in. Paul, how's everyone doing this morning? Welcome to the Hangout. Just jumping on here last minute. Bear with me. I'm going to be probably coughing about 90% of the time that I'm on the air here with you guys today. For some reason, I got a little cough going on, but welcome to the Hangout, Freedom Friday. That was the 45-second presentation that will change your life that Paul just introduced you. Because, you know, one thing that I've been thinking about, if you had, we always talk about starting your home-based business to have more time. The older you get, the more time you spend at your job working, less time you have for yourself. Let's say you had the time. Does anyone even know what they would do with the time if they had the money? If they all of a sudden had back all the time? Like, what would you do with that time? Have you given enough thought over the fudge? My throat is killing me this morning. I haven't tried to talk to anybody yet.
Gosh. Sounds like you didn't.
It's weird. But have you ever given much thought to what it is you would actually do with your time if all of a sudden you had all the time in the world? You know what the scary thing is for most people, that they've worked their jobs that they've not liked for so long, in a routine and in a rut for so long, that they don't even know what it is they would want to do with their free time. I guess that's the thought that's on my mind. And I'm having a hard time getting it out because of this voice of mine.
Yeah, sound like you swallowed a frog. But what you just said right there goes right along with what I titled the show today. Who do you intend to become? And where you're talking about the fact that most people don't even really know what they would want to do with their time, because they really don't have any sort of vision for their future. They really have no vision for their life. They have no, quote, definite major purpose. And so even if they had more time, they don't really have any kind of direction as to what it is that they're striving for, when it comes to, becoming successful in whether it be network marketing or anything in their job or whatever. Because I don't know. We talk a lot here about the power, of the mind, of this, meatball right here between your ears. And the thing is, so many people don't believe in that power. I don't know why it's so hard to believe that the power that you have within your own mind is real. I guess it's because it's something that people can't just, actually see. They can't see what it is that their mind can do for them. And even those who hear about the information, hear about the possibility, hear about the power of the mind, and follow some steps in a book like from something like a book of Napoleon Hill's, what is it, Think and Grow Rich, or Laws of Success, or How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, or just thinking Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker, or whatever book it is that somebody might hear this information from, The Secret. And even if they have the gumption to want to believe it and try it out, it's not something that happens overnight. And because it's something that progresses slowly day by day, that without any visual evidence of what you're accomplishing, people give up. They don't believe it any longer. And then therefore, as I said, that's, I think, part of the reason why so many people fail to believe in the power of the mind. But if you stick with it, if you actually employ some of these techniques and strategies, and if you stick with it day after day after day after day, some people will laugh at you. You might even laugh at yourself for being so ridiculous. Then all of a sudden, one day down the road, it might be 3 months, 6 months, maybe a year, who knows? Especially like John was saying, the older you get, the faster time goes by, and the longer and harder it is for these things to manifest and take place in your life. But however long that it takes, there'll come a point when you'll just stop and you'll turn around and you'll go, wow, I've really come a long way. And then all of a sudden it'll start to make sense to you about the reality, the truth of how powerful your mind is and your ability to shape and change your life and your future. And I think that really ties into what you had started talking about there, John, with people not really knowing what they would do with their time because they just don't have a direction and a purpose.
It's so true. I've I've found my self from personal experience stuck in sort of that same rut, and that's why I bring it up. I'm only 38 years old, but there was a time where I was working. I've always owned a paint business, but there was a time where I was literally working in the paint business every day. I was the guy out there. Although I had my own business, I really just owned my job. I was my own boss. I physically was in the field painting every day, 7 days a week to get the work done, 10 hours a day. And I really wasn't, although I was happy that I owned my own business, I really wasn't excited every day with the fact that I have to get up and apply paint to walls. And I had this realization, which is one of the real reasons too, that I got into network marketing and I got into real estate with Paul, is because I really realized, like, on my days off, it's like, now that I have a day off, like, what do I like doing? What do I want to do? And I think even before that day comes where you have those days off and you win your time back, you want to start thinking about, who am I? What is it that I really enjoy in life outside of my career, outside of work? Because too many people in this world, well, maybe not in the entire world, but at least in our culture here in America, define themselves based on their job. I work 50 hours a week at a QT as a cashier. You are not a cashier. That is not you. That shouldn't define you. But I feel in our culture, kind of what we do for a living to earn our money kind of defines us. And most people don't like what it is they're doing. Most people do not like their job, yet they're using it as that thing in their life that they're defining themselves by. And it's kind of a shame. And I bring this up this morning because it is Freedom Friday. It's all about Freedom Friday. The 45-second presentation that Paul starts each of these Hangouts off with points out, like, if you had the time, would you have the money? My question is, if you had the time, would you even know what to do with it? And most people wouldn't know, I don't think. And it's time to start thinking about that, thinking about who you are, thinking about your goals and your dreams and your why, and writing that stuff down and defining it so that when you do win back your time, because as Paul said, like, the system is simple, but it doesn't mean it's not hard work and that it's going to take some time. With that being said, start to think about who you are and what you want and what you would do at that time. Even, because you always hear people talk about what they would do with money. Well, think about what you would do with time. Go ahead, Paul.
Well, with time and money, obviously, because in order for you to, first of all, buy back your time, that's the key right there. You literally do have to buy back your time in this world today. You can't just have time, because time without money will have you standing on a corner begging for quarters. So you really do have to become successful, work at becoming successful, and making money, and using that money to buy back your time, so that hopefully you have enough sense to apply, at first at least, apply that extra time that you're buying back away from your job and applying more of that time towards you becoming successful in another area, such as network marketing, so that you can eventually have both time and money. And that's the point where, like John said, what the hell are you going to be doing? Well, I know what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be fishing. Okay, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'll be doing a lot of fishing and traveling and serving others. As far as I think my mission is to help people understand all of this and help people to learn what it is that it takes to become successful. And most likely younger people, because you old cronies like me are too set in your ways to think that there's anything you can do with your life. My life just started at 50, okay? My life was crap for 40 years. I thought it was great running around high on drugs and drunked up all the time, but my life started at 40 because I chose to believe that I could do something with my life. And guess what? It's happening. And that's all it takes. That's all you got to do. It's that simple. And that's my mission, is to help people understand that, especially you old cronies like me. But the younger people too. I was just looking at my assistant's two daughters yesterday when they were over there boxing up books from this house that we were working on, and the one girl was really interested in books, and she ended up, snagging a few for herself, and then this book guy came by to snag up a few for his store and whatnot, and she and him got into a conversation. So I mean, she really likes books and all of that, but listening to her talk otherwise, this girl has no direction. And I mean, she's 16, which, okay, I understand, 16 years old, yada yada yada, but still, really has no direction in life whatsoever. And that's really the age where, my God, if people like myself or anybody at that age could start learning these things, their future could be anything they want it to be. And that's what the amazing thing about all this is. And it doesn't have to be at 16. It's just so much easier to grasp at that age and to apply. The older you get, the harder it gets. But we can still all, no matter what, start today and make your life whatever you want it to be.
It's interesting you bring that up. Did you happen to listen to Jeff Fagin's 7 o'clock Street Smart Success call this morning?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay. Maybe that is why you brought that up. He talks about Well, me and Paul each morning during the week, and anybody who wants to join in that call just simply needs to get in touch with Paul and I. We give you the access information. But our mentor, a guy out here named Jeff Fagin, does a weekly or a daily call on weekdays only at 7 o'clock for 20 minutes. It's all about he calls them his street smart business success calls. And what he talked about this morning is the Napoleon Hill self-confidence formula. And for those of you who don't know who Napoleon Hill is, he's the author of the book Think and Grow Rich, which is a classic among self-development, personal development, written way back almost 100 years ago at this point. Phenomenal book. And his vision was to teach these concepts that Paul and I are talking about to high school students. Now, he has something in the book called the success formula, and it takes 2 minutes. You say this thing out loud every day, and it's a formula. What do they call it, Paul? It's not affirmations, not self-hypnosis.
Auto-suggestion.
What's that?
Auto-suggestion.
Auto-suggestion. And he was saying in the Street Smart Success call this morning that Napoleon Hill's vision is that children at 16 years old should be doing the self-confidence formula, should be doing self affirmations and auto-suggestion to begin programming their mind for confidence. One of the lines in the self-confidence formula is, I know that I have the power to control and direct my own mind. And there's a formula to program yourself. Imagine if you were doing that every day, starting at the age of 16, how that would program you moving forward into the future to have confidence. And as Paul said, you could start at any time. But Jeff this morning said, however old you are, minus 16, in this case, I'm 38, that's 22. And his question was, imagine if you had been doing the self-confidence formula for 22 years. I only discovered it in August of 2013. And although I don't do it every day, I've repeated that affirmation hundreds of times over the last 3 years. And it has greatly impacted my attitude in my life. I can't even imagine where I would be in life right now with my businesses and my personal life had I known these concepts when I was 16 years old. If I had learned to program myself, and then I had the ability to program myself at 16 years old, how much further along I would be. It's amazing when you think about it. And that's why time is so precious and so important. And it doesn't matter if you're 16, 38, 52, 70. If you want to make a change in your life, it's never too late. And you still always have the ability. And you got to start just taking time and visualizing who and where you want to be.
And believe who you want to be. Like I said, like the title of this show says, who do you intend to become? Not who do you want to become, who do you intend to become? And that's the key element right there, is setting your intention and living your intention. And if you set your intention and you live your intention will come to be. It's just the way that the world works and the universe works. But you have to set the intention. You have to know, and like John started out talking about, even what it is that you like to do, you have to know. You got to know what that stuff is first, or you'll never have it. But with that, guys, it's already 8:20. And I hope you got something really, really good out of this show. I hope that you will take these thoughts, and if you're looking at network marketing, or if you're already in network marketing, I would suggest that if you're looking, that you give us a call and hear about Swiss Gold Global. It's an awesome program. And if you are already in network marketing, I hope that you'll take these thoughts and figure out what it is that you intend to become in your network marketing business. You can look at all those guys up there that are making all the money, and you can say, I want to be like that, but that isn't going to get you anything. If you set the intention to become that, you will. And utilizing the self-confidence formula is a great place to start. John, I'm sure you got a final word. Why don't you throw one in and take us home?
Well, it's just amazing how fast the time goes by, and I apologize for my voice. In fact, it hurts to talk, and it's kind of a struggle, so it's kind of throwing off my focus here. But my final thought for the day, really, or not for the final thought for this hangout, is if you had more time and you had more money, what would you do with the money and what would you do with the time? And start thinking about that, because you won't have more time or money if you don't have a plan or a direction for the money and for the time. It's very important that you have a purpose and a direction. And I don't know what that is for you. Everybody is different, but I know that I truly believe that there's something for everybody, a purpose for everybody. And it's should be our life's work, really, not to get up and go to a job that we don't like each and every single day. And kind of just then when we get our free time, just to get our minds off the fact that we're spending 8 to 10 hours doing something we hate 5-6 days a week, and then spending our free time basically just putting ourselves into zombie mode, getting drunk, or just vegging out on TV and really doing nothing of value or worthwhile. I believe our life's work is to figure out what it is our purpose is, and then pursue all roads to lead us to that purpose and to that reason. So that's my final thought. So with that, I say, oh, universe, I ask not for more riches, but for more wisdom with which to make better use of the riches given to me at birth, consisting in the power to control and direct my own mind to whatever ends I may desire. Go out, make it a great, phenomenal day, and we'll see you all back here on New Op Day, where we will discuss the Own Your Life book.
Imagine that, owning your life. Anybody? Anyway, I hope this thing actually worked out. And if you guys want to see this again, go to YouTube and look us up on our channel over there, and you can watch the replay of this and